Welcome back to the Sturry Link Road project. This week across site, activity continues to progress on multiple fronts, with works developing steadily across both the northern and southern sections of the scheme. Drainage installation remains ongoing, with new chambers being formed and sections of pipework continuing to be laid as the underground network expands. Alongside this, ground preparation works continue across several areas, with platforms being formed, levels adjusted, and access routes refined to support the next phases of construction. At Access D and surrounding areas, significant preparation works are underway to establish and strengthen working platforms, while elsewhere, haul routes and access points continue to develop to allow for increased movement of plant and materials across the site. Throughout the week, further deliveries of heavy plant and materials continue to arrive, with multiple pieces of specialist equipment being brought into the compound as the program moves forward. A key focus this week is the mobilization and assembly of lifting equipment, including cranes positioning on site and components being delivered for the build-up of a 42-meter piling rig. This marks a clear step forward in the construction program as the site moves closer towards the start of deeper foundation works. From here, we'll break down exactly what's been happening across each area of the project this week. Kicking off Monday on site, further deliveries continue to arrive onto the south abutment. A tracked crawler crane is brought into position, forming part of the lifting setup for the works ahead. This type of crane runs on continuous tracks, allowing it to position itself on prepared ground with stability during heavy lifts and assembly works. Alongside this, an articulated lorry delivers a number of components, including counterweights for the piling rig and other equipment required ahead of the next stage. At this point, the piling rig itself was not yet due on site until the following day, with today focused instead on preparing the ground and staging the required components ready for its arrival. As unloading begins, each item is carefully lifted off and positioned within the working area, forming part of the build-up ahead of the main assembly phase. It's another step in the ongoing mobilization of the site as preparations continue ahead of the next stage of construction. Monday night saw one of the key movements on the project as the piling rig arrived into the compound at around 7:30 in the evening. The delivery had originally been scheduled for first thing Tuesday morning, timed to avoid peak traffic movements. However, planned works on the M25 overnight meant the original movement window was no longer viable, and the transport was brought forward to Monday night instead. During transit, the convoy also experienced issues, including tyre damage on the low loader, which contributed to the later than planned arrival on site. As a result, the rig eventually made its way into the compound during the evening hours, where it was positioned and left staged ready for the following day's activities. Further along, next to the attenuation pond near the southern roundabout, works on the new 900mm diameter pipe network continue to progress. A hydrostatic testing setup has been installed within the pipe run, with temporary equipment fitted to the end of the section. This is connected via hose to a pumping unit, typically powered by a small generator on site. The system is used to pressure test the newly installed pipework, allowing the team to check for any faulty or leaking joints before the installation is accepted. By introducing controlled pressure into the pipeline, each section can be checked to ensure it performs as required before the works progress further. Once testing is complete, the equipment is removed, and the pipe installation can move on to the next stage. Two articulated lorries arrive into the compound, carrying additional components for the piling rig. One is loaded with large diameter hoses and associated equipment, while the second carries a long steel component used within the rig assembly. As the vehicles come to a stop, the crane moves straight into position and begins lifting the materials off the trailers. Each item is carefully removed and placed into the working area, ready to be integrated into the ongoing assembly. It marks the start of the rig build-up on site as components begin to come together in preparation for installation. Taking a step back, this is a continuous flight auger, or CFA piling rig. CFA piling is a method used to form deep foundations by drilling into the ground using a continuous auger. As the auger is withdrawn, concrete is pumped through the hollow stem, filling the void from the bottom up. Once this is complete, reinforcement cages are inserted into the wet concrete to form the finished pile. It's a widely used method on major infrastructure projects, allowing piles to be installed efficiently and continuously with minimal disturbance to the surrounding ground. On this scheme, pile depths are generally around 28 metres, with the deepest location at Pier 4, close to the railway, reaching approximately 29.1 metres. The rig itself has been assembled to provide the reach and capacity required for these works, marking the transition into the deeper foundation stage of construction on site. From above, the scale of the works becomes much clearer. This drone sequence follows the alignment of what will become the new Hall Road, running through the site and down towards Platform D. Along this stretch, material deliveries continue, with stone being placed in layers and compacted to gradually build up the formation level. Between these layers, reinforcement materials such as geogrid are installed, helping to strengthen and stabilize the structure as it builds up over time. The formation here is being raised and shaped to achieve a gradual gradient up onto Platform D. This is necessary to accommodate the movement and operation of heavy plant, including the piling equipment now arriving on site. This week alone, around 1,000 tons of stone has been delivered each day, with material split across different areas of the site to support the ongoing Earthworks program. The result is a steadily forming platform that ties the lower ground levels into the main working area, creating a continuous route for construction access across the site. From this viewpoint, you can see how the corridor is beginning to take shape, connecting different sections of the scheme as the earthworks progress. At the northern end of the scheme, work continued on the Hall Road between the northern roundabout and the north abutment, with topsoil stripping now underway as preparations continue for the next phase of construction. Boundary fencing also progressed throughout the week, and by the end of the week, this section had been completed, clearly separating the construction site from publicly accessible areas. Just over the other side of the railway, you can see Platform D in the background. According to the project team, around 2,000 tons of stone a day are expected to be placed there next week, gradually building the working platform up to around 1 meter in depth, ready to support the next stage of construction. Drainage works also continue along the right-hand side of the approach to the south abutment, where another surface water chamber is being installed. In this sequence, the chamber is bedded into place using concrete to provide a stable foundation and ensure it remains correctly aligned before the surrounding works continue. You may also notice a black perforated pipe extending deeper into the excavation. This forms part of a temporary dewatering system, with a pump drawing groundwater away from the excavation. By keeping the working area as dry as possible, it allows the team to safely install the drainage infrastructure and achieve the required levels before the trench is backfilled. This is one of around 15 surface water chambers being installed along the right-hand side of the approach, forming part of the drainage network that will collect and convey surface water away from the new road once it is in operation. Before we continue, I thought I'd leave this clip in. As I was setting up the next shot, a large number of birds took off close to the drone, so I immediately backed away to give them space and avoid disturbance. On a site like this, you also can't just fly straight out due to cranes and other plant on the south abutment, which is why maintaining visual line of sight is essential at all times. It ensures you can react safely and keep the aircraft under full control in changing conditions. Once it was clear, I repositioned and continued filming. Looking out over the river, ecology works are underway as part of the ongoing environmental monitoring on site. This is being carried out by the ecology clerk of works, a specialist water vole surveyor who attends site weekly to check the riverbanks for any signs of protected species. Where any evidence is found, the relevant areas are flagged and a temporary exclusion zone is put in place, typically around 5 meters, to ensure the area is protected before any further works continue. In this sequence, one operative is working within the river channel itself, carefully inspecting the vegetation and bank structure at close range, while another remains on the riverbank, providing support and maintaining a safety rope at all times. Once the checks are completed and all known areas have been assessed, any required vegetation management can be carried out, but only within the agreed time window, with works needing to take place within 48 hours of clearance before the next inspection cycle. Orbiting above the central section of the scheme, you can now clearly see the footprint of the future viaduct taking shape below. On Access B, between the two cofferdams, formation levels have been cut and carefully graded to create a level running surface across the working platform. This provides a stable route for the piling rig to track between the two areas of work, essential given the size and weight of the plant moving across site. Thursday afternoon marked the biggest moment of the week and the point everyone on site had been working towards. Over the previous 4 days, the piling rig had been progressively assembled on the ground, with multiple deliveries, components and supporting plant brought in and positioned ready for the final build-up. By this stage, the mobile crane on the south abutment takes centre stage for the lifting operation, with the crawler crane moved slightly out of the way after assisting with earlier positioning and preparation. The fully assembled Bauer BG45 piling rig now lies laid out on the ground, ready to be brought up into its working position. This machine is a large rotary drilling rig used for deep foundation works, forming piles by drilling into the ground and constructing reinforced concrete columns to support the structure above. With everything in place, the lift begins. Working in a controlled sequence, the mobile crane starts to take the weight of the rig, gradually bringing it up from the horizontal position into its working orientation. It's a slow and precise operation, with constant adjustments as the structure lifts clear of the ground and the full weight transfers into the crane. As it rises, the scale of the machine becomes fully apparent, a major piece of plant being assembled and positioned entirely on site into its operational form. After days of preparation, this is the moment everything comes together. With the lift now over 50% complete, the rig has reached the point where it can begin taking more of its own weight. At this stage, the mobile crane is able to gradually disengage, with the remaining lift controlled by the rig as it continues to rotate up into its working position. It's a carefully managed transition as the load transfers and the final section of the lift is completed, bringing the machine closer to fully upright and ready for commissioning. The final sequence of the flight begins north of the railway, where the layout of the future North Roundabout can now be clearly seen forming within the wider landscape. From here, the drone drops down and settles over the alignment of the new Hall Road, tracing the route that will link the northern roundabout through to the north abutment and into the main working areas of the scheme. Pulling back and rising up, the camera reveals the wider northern section, where boundary fencing has now been completed across the week, clearly defining and separating the construction site from the surrounding land. The flight then transitions along the developing Hall Road, moving low over the formation as thousands of tons of stone continue to be delivered and placed across the site. This material is being built up in layers, gradually forming the main access route towards Platform D. As explained earlier in the episode, this haul route has been carefully engineered with a gradual gradient to allow heavy plant, including the piling rig, to safely move between working areas once operations are fully underway. Approaching Platform D, the scale of the earthworks becomes clear. This entire area is being raised by approximately a metre of engineered stone to form the working platform for future piers 3 and 4, with cofferdams to follow as the next stage of construction. Around 1,000 tons of stone a day has been placed across the site this week, with activity now ramping up significantly. Next week, this is expected to increase to around 2,000 tons per day as the platform build accelerates towards operational readiness. Circling the area, the drone captures the full extent of the developing platform, with environmental protection measures still in place along the edge of the works. From here, the flight moves towards the south abutment, dropping in low across the working area where the piling rig now dominates the site. At ground level, the scale of the operation becomes even more apparent. Alongside the rig, the auger drilling tools are laid out and staged ready for use, each one weighing in the region of 3 tons, forming part of the system that will bore into the ground for the deep foundations. Nearby, steel reinforcement cages are also prepared, positioned ready to be lifted into place once the boreholes are formed and filled with concrete. This is the working heart of the operation, where all the separate elements come together, each one forming a critical part of the piling process that will define the structure above. It rises up past the front of the rig, transitioning from ground-level detail to full structure, tracking vertically along the mast as section after section of steel fills the frame. The higher it climbs, the more the site opens up beneath it. Platforms, haul roads, cofferdams and access routes all beginning to connect into one continuous system of works. And just as the scale of it all settles in, tomorrow the first pile goes in, the first cut into the ground, the first permanent mark of what this site is becoming. After everything that has moved, arrived and been built up over the past weeks, the next stage doesn't wait anymore, it begins. The cameras may leave, but the work doesn't stop here. This is where preparation ends and the structure starts to take shape.